Welcome back and welcome to an awesome start of the new year. If you are like me, you're just getting back into it, and isn't that kind of scary? Okay, so today we are talking about, first I have a tip for you. Tip of the day before we get into a good curriculum, I think, for autism, or ADHD and gifted. It's a curriculum for gifted children, but I don't think it's necessarily used for that. I'm not saying my children are necessarily gifted, and it worked wonderfully, and I think you're really going to like it. I'm also going to show you one that I didn't particularly care for as much. First off, the tip of the day, if your child comes to you, they're upset, they're distraught, any age, instead of trying to solve their problem, instead of commenting on anything at all, you can just say, tell me more. Tell me more. Or you can say, it sounds like, and then put an emotion there. It sounds like you're frustrated. It sounds like you're mad. And then you can follow with, tell me more. And I'm telling you, it really does help. I forget where I heard it from. Otherwise, I would tell you. I would give credit where credit is due. I don't know, but it works wonderfully. Of course, we have a product of the day, because I wouldn't be me without a product of the day. I know, the drama. Okay, this is an anthology of Our Extraordinary Earth. I wish I could buy all of them. By the end of the year, I may, but I'm very specific money diet right now. So this is just the meteor crater, the giant's path. But what I love is I love real pictures. And these are real pictures. I know. I mean, as opposed to artist rendering. I do like artist rendering, but... So there we go. Let's look at the table kind of, and it comes with a bookmark. So this is what I love, because it can be like a breakfast book. You pull it out, read a part a day if you want. So planet Earth, then the land, geysers, ash clouds, whatever. Water, lots of water stuff. Snow monsters. I don't even know what that is. 128. Let's go look. Let's look. Like, what do they think snow monsters are? 128. Is this like the Yeti? Ugh. Oh, polar bears. Polar region. Did you know when a polar bear is born, 2 of them can fit in the size of your hand? And I want to say within 1 year they've gained like 100 pounds or something. Snow monsters can be 100 feet tall. Like something out of a scary fairy tale, snow monsters appear every winter on the slopes in Japan. I don't know how to say that, so I'm avoiding all the words I don't know how to say. But anyway, yeah, kind of cool. Kind of cool. And let's go back. Let's see what else. Then we have air, wind, clouds, rain, rainbows, and landscapes. And that might be it. Yep. Oh, so pretty. The earth is so beautiful. So beautiful. So beautiful. This book is so beautiful. This book, oh my gosh, sea ice. Tell me, I mean, you don't even have to tell me you think that's amazing. I think it's great. Okay. All right, so let's talk products. Let's talk curriculums. I've got a curriculum here that I use for my son that has autism, my son who has ADHD. I think it's a great curriculum, 2 different children. And then the next year up. So let me show you the first year that we did, okay? So this is moving beyond the page. This is ages 6 to 8. It's an all-in-one curriculum, except it doesn't really count math unless you do a gentle math, and it doesn't really count language arts. I mean, it counts language arts, but it doesn't count like learning to read. Okay, now this is age 6 to 8. So if torn between the 5 to 7 and 6 to 8, go 6 to 8, go 6 to 8, go 6 to 8. So it comes with, so there are 4 concepts. Concept 1, 2, 3, and you've guessed it, 4 for the year. So it's all mixed in. All your subjects are all mixed in. History, geography, science, I mean, language arts. It's all mixed in these books, okay? This is the teacher manual. This is the student manual. Now, this is 6 to 8 again. I'm going to show you concept 3, which is, I want to say culture. Culture says right there. Okay, so when you look in here, all you're going to have, and this I think is an award winner. I think it's great. I think it's brilliant. You don't need to really read that, but okay. So look at this. Daily schedule. This is a load of crap. This is so not relevant to anyone ever. And I've heard other parents say that. 60 to 90 minutes of implementing the lesson plan. Yeah, right. 30 minutes reading and writing instruction, 30 minutes of math or reading aloud, 30 minutes of math instruction, 30 minutes of physical activity, optional 30 minutes extended products-based interest, which really that's just playing, and life, right? And 30 minutes reteach skills not mastered during lessons. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting concept, but completely irrelevant, not applicable to anything I've ever done with this company, and I've done quite a few years. Okay, so... And then it's got required books that it has for here that some of them are not available at the library. So that sucks. But however, it is what it is. And yeah, I mean, okay. So those books were just for this concept. And then of course it also has, I guess I should show you, it's got the materials things in it. So this is the table contents. This is what you're going to be covering in culture, using maps, people around the world, stories around the world, stuff like that. So this right here really hits onto language arts. However, I mean, it's through all the books, all the concepts. So there's 4 concepts. So for the year, you only have to go through really the 4 concepts. Okay, so that's an interesting thing in itself. Now, it says moving beyond the page, but it has the best, it's very page focused. It has the best worksheets I've ever seen. In the 5 to 7 and in the 6 to 8, they are divided. You will see, so Unit 1, geography. You will see, I guess turn it this way, Activity 2, Option 1. This is if your child can handwrite. So I did the handwriting for us, third planet from the sun, da-da-da. It usually has a book that goes along with this, using maps and globes. There's a book that you read to go along with it. And then this is, oh, okay. See, the difference is this does involve handwriting. In the 5 to 7, it doesn't involve that much handwriting. But here it gives you a clue. Okay, so there's always option 1 and option 2, like I'm showing you here. And this gives you a clue, right? What my state is in the country of, and then at the time we were in Canada when we were filling this out, but now we're in the United States. So where in the world am I? And this is without the clue. Okay, so you draw in your own little picture there, mini picture. So it always has option 1, option 2 for mostly things. Okay, symbols and map keys, very cool. We're talking about symbols and map keys. Map of Texas. Here's map of Texas. See, so sometimes they have, do you see like level 1 and level 2, and activity 2 will be a little harder because it's got measuring distance. Here does not have the measuring distance on there. Here it does. Okay, that's got the compass. So very interesting hand sheet. So a lot of times we would just sit down and go through this book, just discussing it. Okay, so treasure map. So anyway, there's a lot. It's super interesting, okay? We can all agree. I assume we can all agree, maybe not, but I think it's very interesting. Natural resources found in the United States. So it covers a lot of topics that you wouldn't think about. So I think it's definitely award-winning in my mind this year. The 5 to 7 is good. The 6 to 8 is the best. I think that's where they shine. Or what is it? Is it 6 to 8? However, okay, so about the continent of, and then you discuss a continent, right? And then you could do the handwriting for them. If your son has autism or ADHD or is neurodiverse at all, you just do the handwriting for them. Don't make them write out everything. Make handwriting a separate subject and make reading a separate subject. So you read it for them. You can just use your finger to underline it so they kind of get the concepts under there. And then you teach them to read in a separate time, okay? That's just my opinion. That's just generally how it works. Otherwise, you're just going to be pulling teeth to get through everything. If you're waiting for them to read all the things, I mean, you're never going to get done. It really will take you then 30 minutes per subject. And so this is an example of the math. Okay, how many people live in the homes below? Count of the people. How many foods are fruits? How many jobs listed are found in your community? Okay, like we probably don't have a shepherd here. Not that I know of, but we do have, maybe you have a bus driver. Our specific community, yeah, I guess we do pick up kids for school. And then, again, what's the difference between, so this is option 1. What's the difference option 2? Option 2 just has more, right? Because it's math, so it has more. So, you know, they're grouped together now, right? So probably groups of 10 would be my guess. Don't know, not bothering to count. So looking at my culture, this is not a Christian curriculum. It's not a curriculum specific to any religion. So it's like looking at my culture. What jobs are in your community? What holidays do you celebrate? What food do you have? What clothing? What homes? Things like that, okay? Interview a person from a community from a different cultural background. Whatever. Anyway, so it has a lot of interesting stuff is what I'm saying. Sharing in a home. Share this pizza with 3 other family members. Do the fractions, so there's more math. So very simple. Sometimes they have books that go along with it. You can read the book. So again, I think it's super cool. Moving on to the next year. This is kind of where I don't think I'm going to get it after this year. Okay, so then we go. These are just notes because I looked at like what books I needed to bring or get for these life cycles, right? But really, I just got any life cycles book. I don't think this was the recommended one. This was the recommended one for this, but I found another one for whatever reason, because when you buy 75 curriculums, they all kind of feature the same stuff. So, and any library on a life cycle really doesn't have to be specific. Although maybe it does, because there's certain animals that, like, hey, what does the caterpillar go through? What does the tadpole go through? However, now, this is the 7 to 9. See how it says Concept 3, Unit 1? There's like 25 of these books. So whereas there's 4 plus 4 teacher's manuals, you're now looking at 25. The good news is you do not have to order every single book. Your teacher's manual and the student manual is in here. Okay, so let me just show you some of the things. So, of course, you have the definitions. You also do in the teacher's manual here, too. I just didn't show it to you. Again, we're back to the typical day. Yeah, right. Sure, maybe. I have no idea. Okay. So let's go through and let me just show you. It's not that I don't like it. It's that when you need 75 books to go through, like, you can't, it's just a lot more work to get through it. And when it's not a full math curriculum and when it's not a full reading and language arts curriculum, it's just a lot. It's a lot. Okay. So activity 1, again, sometimes they have activity 1 and activity 2, right? But activity 1's pretty easy because it is 7 to 9, but I feel like this would be a more 6 to 8 because aside from color in the pictures that are living and things that are not, I mean, first of all, if you were to color in all that, just point them out. Point them out. That's what I have my kids do. Like, we're not wasting our time on something that easy, if you will. Needs of living things. Okay, so what do living things need? What do living things need? They generally need shelter. They need some place to live. They need some place to hide so they can sleep. And they need something to eat. And they need water, sunshine. Parts of living things. An animal with claws. An animal with large teeth. So draw examples of animals that have animal fur and animal things. That's great if you love drawing. What is the life cycle? Now we're getting the life cycle. What are the stages in the life cycle of a plant? Sure. What is unique about metamorphosis? So these are interesting questions. Totally support that. Oh, I don't even know how to do this, but the cycle wheel, I should probably review it. I'm just not going to. Sorry. Too much work. I don't even know what you want me to do. I'm out. All right, this is kind of interesting, and it is the life cycle, although I don't get why it has numbers, even though I read the instructions. But essentially, it's like, okay, yeah, divide it into parts and then choose an animal and do like the life cycle in it. So again, why it has 4, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 3. I don't know. Maybe you're supposed to do something with it. I don't know. So this is activity 1, option 1. So again, we're going back to the 2 options. So this is cut out the plants and animals for each of the stages. So this is option 1, which has the word boxes right here. Isn't this? Okay, so right here, cut out the plants and animals and put them into the stages. So a person, a grasshopper, and a salmon. I just had them talk about it, but there you go. There they are, the word boxes. So salmon, fry, adult, egg, alvin, smolt, par. My problem is we get into busy work because you don't necessarily, in order to be successful at life, you don't necessarily need to know all these little things right there about a salmon. You don't. You can learn a couple of them for the grasshopper. Sure, why not? And of course, the human, learn those. But then pick an animal you like and talk about that life cycle. I think would be more beneficial than going through a salmon. Like, why do you need to know a salmon's life cycle? It is not. And then, you know what I mean? Like, and then here they mix them all up, all the word box there. And I think they even leave some out. And it's like, okay, we'll cut these out and put those into them, which fine. But again, kind of in a way busy work because I don't know. It just in my mind, that's busy work. So hard boiled or fresh. So an experiment. Is it hard boiled or fresh? Examine the eggs, spin the eggs. So like I said, it does include science. A little odd that we're talking about eggs that baby animals come from, and then we're going to go get eggs. But, you know, what do I know? I don't look much like my parents. Illustrate the frog's life cycle. Okay, we're still on that. I think we're pushing that a little too far. But what I'm saying is that's what it is this whole book is the science, and it's about life cycles. Well, there's a ton of different language arts books based on different novels, like the novel Tornado, the novel, I forget, Sarah, Plain and Simple, I think is her name. So this is science, those would be language arts. So you can pick and choose which one you want to do, and that's what I did, is I pick and chose, and I just chose some things in here, like cycles and me, but what we already talked about. But again, I I mean, I feel by this age, we haven't talked about herbivore, carnivore, and omnivore, so I might do that. Like, I've gone over it just in general conversation. Food change in a habitat, we have gone over that, and things like that. So kind of cool, but at the same time, kind of a little young. Kind of a little young by the time we're getting to 7 and 9. So again, if you did go moving on page, I would pick out, and that's the cool thing is that you can pick out which ones you want to do, because like for the language art, there's a lot of novel studies you can do. For the tornado, because you're going to take the book Tornado, which is an okay book. I wouldn't say it's stellar, but it's an okay book. Quite a few curriculums use it. Sunlight uses it as well. I think Bookshark does as well. And read through it and then kind of break down the science behind a tornado, the weather behind a tornado, drawing a tornado. So you got art in there. So it's kind of cool in that sense. So that's what I did is I just picked out a few different ones that I'm probably going to go through. But again, I don't know. It's just, yeah, maybe not. I feel like we have a heavy course load. We don't. But there's just things I want to cover ahead of that. Do you know what I'm saying? Ahead of these. Because this would be our fifth science curriculum this year if we did go into and do some of that. But I go through science a lot. We sit and we read it during breakfast. So you can cover a lot of ground during meals, if you read science textbooks and discuss it and go over it and things like that. But anyhow, I am digressing. Have you turned off the video yet? Okay, if you haven't, let me thank you. And clearly you should subscribe. If you can handle me when I digress, please subscribe. And any questions, leave them in the comments and I'm sure I'll answer them in a future video. Bye-bye. Can you say please like and subscribe?
Please like to like.
And hit the bell for notifications.
Hit bell for notifications.